All right, so recently there's been talks about how well Islam Makhachev would do at middleweight, and I want to talk about it. Let me know what you think about Islam Makhachev at middleweight and why you're down there. I'd appreciate if you could like subscribe. We're close to 280 subs. But anyway, let me get into it because Bilal, what's his name? Bilal remember the boring something. I forgot his name, but he was on an interview, after he won the belt, and he was asked about Islam Makhachev moving up to welterweight because Islam Makhachev has been talking about how he wanted to get that second belt at welterweight for a very, very long time. And Bilal responded that he's probably not going to move up because him and Islam are friends, and Islam should go for the middleweight belt because he's really that good. And people kind of laughed at that because that was kind of stupid for Islam to go up 2 weight classes. I really hope he does go up to welterweight and just beat Bilal. Remember the what? I don't know. I forgot his name, but yeah, if Islam moved up and beat Bilal, I think that would be amazing. Islam smokes Bilal in like 1 round. Bilal just gets cut from the promotion immediately. Dana's like, what's the question? Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, he's cut. He's cut from the sport. We're gonna send him to Brave. We're gonna send him to Brave, and then we see Makhachev versus Bilal in Brave because that's the only two fighters that have any name recognition in that promotion. So very exciting matchup there in the future. But Islam moving up to middleweight. I don't think he would do that bad. I feel like people kind of overreacted because I feel like a lot of people are acting like Islam just has no chance at middleweight, which I think is ridiculous. People are acting like Dricus Du Plessis is like Shamil Ghazi in like terms of size, bro. Like he's not that much bigger than Islam. Like I think people are really overreacting. Islam is like I think he walks around 180, he said. So it's not that ridiculous for him to go up to middleweight. I feel like it doesn't really make sense, but it's not that crazy. And I think there's like a couple reasons to why I think Islam would do good. I think number one is that Islam's base really works against anyone. Like, I feel like you'd have to be ridiculously bigger than Islam for the wrestling base not to work. I feel like Alex Pereira, or like, you know, someone like in the light heavyweight, that is where it's like the cutoff to where like I feel like the skill doesn't really matter. Like the size is what matters. Pause. Like Dricus Du Plessis, he's not very skilled. Like, if Islam Makhachev takes someone down, no matter how good you are on the ground, like again, up to middleweight, no matter how good you are on the ground, Islam Makhachev is better. Like Islam Makhachev, people forget, like this guy is literally, people forget, man, people forget, this guy's literally like one of the greatest fighters, maybe of all time, but right now he's the greatest fighter in the sport, okay? The guy is just he's so skilled, bro. He might be the most skilled fighter of all time, okay? I'm sure there's going to be someone who's going to say Demetrius Johnson, okay? And, name 5 Demetrius Johnson title defenses. No, I'm joking. I do think DJ's probably like up there, but Islam is definitely up there too. I mean, his wrestling is so good, his striking is so good, and just really think about this. This guy is he's a top 3 striker and a top 3 grappler at the same time in the sport. If that's not impressive, I don't know what is. Like that is just incredibly. Like it takes a lot. It's very impressive. Like very impressive to be top 3 striker and top 3 grappler at the same time. Like who else has even done that? I mean, think about guys like John Jones. Like John Jones was never a top 3 striker, or maybe a top 3 grappler, but he is a pretty good grappler. Anyway, regardless, Islam, he's very skilled on the ground, and I think at middleweight, it doesn't really matter how big you are. Like if Islam takes you down, he's gonna be easy. He's gonna beat you easily on the ground, because on top of that, being smaller. Okay, I know it's kind of a joke since Lucas Tracy keeps bringing up, lighter man skill. Like bro, lighter man skill is a real thing. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but logically it would be a real thing when you think about it, because as you go down the weight classes, you obviously have to be more skilled since you don't have the power to just knock people out, which is why heavyweight is like the most least skilled division ever, because they just have the most power and they don't really have to be skilled because they just one punch just has to land and that's it. At flyweight, you're not really getting knockouts that much. There's way less punching power, so you have to be way more skilled, which is why lighter man skill does exist, and it is a real thing. We've seen it time and time again. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, and we've seen it in I think the most obvious one was Cowlin Lochran versus Jake Hadley that happened a while ago. Bro, Jake Hadley is absolutely awful at flyweight, yet he absolutely like outclassed Keelan Lochran, which is insane. But still, light man skill is a real thing, and I think if Islam gets someone like Dricus or even like Izzy, like if he manages to get them down on the ground consistently, like him being lighter and him being a smaller guy makes it way more easier to maneuver and like find submissions and whatnot. Especially because Islam's jiu-jitsu is so good, like he would definitely be able to sub a guy like Dricus or a guy like Izzy or whoever. Like, and this is the thing with middleweight, which is also another thing I want to mention is middleweight. That grappling zero, better IQ zero, better. Okay, these guys are kind of stupid. They're not really that skilled. It's kind of like a mix between welterweight and how good they are, and then light heavyweight kind of being stupid. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like middleweight is just that weird in between. where guys have like zero fight IQ. Like these guys are not very smart. Okay, Dricus du Plessis is quite literally just the dumbest guy of all time. This guy literally just fights like a he's a marauder, man. He's a marauder. Like I don't like if you don't think that Islam would be able to sub Dricus, like I don't think that's such a ridiculous thing to say. Okay, like Dricus is not very good. He's so like technically bad. Like obviously he wins, and I'm not calling him like bad, but like technically he is bad. Like skill wise, he's not very skilled at all. Okay, like he's he just kind of has power and a chin and heart. Like he's pretty good, but the thing is when he blitzes in like with that square stance that he does, that just makes it very easy to get taken down. Like a guy like Islam would be able to take Dricus down. And again, Izzy, not very good grappling. And like the middleweight grappling is not very good right now. Like Dricus is a good grappler for middleweight. Like in general, he's not a very good grappler. And I think Islam, if you took him down, I think you'd be able to find the sub pretty easily. And yeah, I don't know. Like that's just why I think Islam would do well at middleweight. I've kind of been yapping for a bit, but let me look at the actual opponent. So Dricus du Plessis, first of all, I've already been talking about this. How do I see Islam being Dricus du Plessis? And I think the main thing is the square stance, which is kind of why I think Chimaev might be a problem for du Plessis. Because, like, bro, when you're running at people with that square stance, with that blitz, I think you'd be getting taken down pretty easily because that makes it way easier to lock the hands. When you're coming forward, you can just grab that takedown, take him down very easy. And I think Islam would be able to take down Dricus within the first round. If he tries to strike with, du Plessis doing that blitz, I think Islam would definitely be able to take him down and probably sub him because Islam's jiu-jitsu is incredible. And I just see that being there for him all the time. But the thing is with Izzy, on the other hand, even though I doubt he'd ever fight him, because obviously du Plessis is the champ right now, and Izzy just lost. If Islam and Izzy fought, I think that would be a bit of a harder one to predict. But, again, I think he would be able to take down Izzy because Izzy, his grappling, it looked okay against Dricus. But again, if Dricus du Plessis is taking you back that easily, like, imagine what Islam Makhachev's going to do. Like, realistically, wrestling and jiu-jitsu is something that translates across all weight classes. Like, you don't even have to. Like, it's kind of obvious. We've seen it with that one clip with Demetrius Johnson and that huge fat guy. Like, again, I think wrestling and jiu-jitsu, that translate across everything. So, I think he'd be able to take down Izzy. Obviously, that's way more unrealistic. I think Izzy could outstrike Islam and, knock him out or something. But then you got other guys, and you got, like, Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is a very small guy. The guy was a welterweight. At least he's a small middleweight. So, Islam might do well against him. And that's another guy. And then Sean Strickland, his wrestling isn't anything crazy. I think Islam would be able to take him down considering Sean doesn't really have too much power. Like, again, like, you look at the top five. Like, I've just listed all these guys. It's not that unrealistic for Islam to beat these guys. Okay? I don't know why people are acting like it is. Like, Islam's very underrated at the moment. I don't know why people hate him so much. Like, he's just... like, bro, again, like I said, top 3 striker, top 3 grappler. On top of that, he's had, like, fight of the night performances every single time he's fought for, like, past four fights in a row. Alright, so I don't really know why people hate on Islam. I think the only people who would be a bad matchup at middleweight, again, I feel like it's, like... It would just be a height thing. I think if Islam couldn't hit him, like, his opponent, obviously, I think that's where the issue comes from. When you got a tall guy like Izzy who's, like, 6'4", or you got a guy like Hamza. I think Hamza is a huge issue as well. Like, if you can wrestle effectively and you have knockout power, I think that's how you beat Islam in the higher weight classes. Like, same at welterweight. I think welterweight is scarier than middleweight for Islam because, bro, those guys are so, like, skilled everywhere. Like, you got Shavkat, Leon, Bilal, all those guys. Like, those guys are very good everywhere instead of just being, like, strikers like at middleweight. Like, I feel like there's not really a lot of wrestling at middleweight. Yeah, not a lot of wrestling at middleweight. All I can think of is, like, Hamza and Bo Nickel. Like, that Bo Nickel. So, that's really it. That's all I have to say about Islam. Also, Alex Pereira recently came out and he said he's not ducking Magomed Ankalaev, and Magomed Ankalaev's ducking him. Bro, Ilya Topuria said that everyone was making fun of
Ilya Topuria, we all know you're joking. Good one, Ilya Topuria. We all know you're lying. Max Holloway would never dunk you.
And then Alex Pereira says the same thing.
Alex Pereira, give me the Shama, okay? I believe you.
Like, bro, come on. He's like this. He said the same thing that bloody Ilya said, but everyone's gonna believe him because it's Alex Pereira. Like, it's stupid. Why would Alex? Like, just really think about this, bro. Why would Ankalaev duck a title shot? Like, bro, I feel like it's just common sense. Like, Ankalaev is not going to say no to a title shot. Like, even if you lose, you don't even lose anything. Like, bro, again, nothing is there is to be lost. So I don't know why people are acting like Ankalaev, if he wasn't asked to, like, fight at UFC 307, would have taken it. Like, I think the promotion is definitely protecting Alex Pereira. I think Alex Pereira is ducking a bit. because he literally only talked about Ankalaev once everyone said he was ducking him. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Is there? I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. All right.